Well, an interesting subject we're going to be talking about today. Amy got in touch with me and she said, you might be interested in this thing. I said, well, I don't know. Let's come down and meet you. You claim it's almost like a world first, and you got the Americans interested in it. So I thought, wow, this is going to be something. And it's doing things to your body to make you feel better without using medications. Is that the right line? And you think you've cracked this? Is it something that is completely different from anybody else?
Yeah, so thanks, Paul. Thanks for coming down. We have developed like you rightly said, a world's first, in that we use the elements of light, heat and cold to target the cells within your body, and specifically the part of the cells which make energy. There is nowhere else that you can do this. No pill can produce the kind of results that we produce.
And you came up with this because you yourself was in the situation where you, I understand, but you had to take painkillers. Not many people like doing that, do they?
Yeah, so when we first moved to the Isle of Man 6 years ago, I had a series of traumatic events that came back to bite me, and I actually had a full mental health breakdown and was heavily medicated and given very powerful sedatives. And I had a young baby at the time, and I did not want to go down that route. So I asked my husband, who's a doctor, a neuroscience expert, to find something else, and he said there is nothing else. So I said, I'm going to invent it. And that's what we did.
Okay, there's a couple of gizmos in there. This bed, which, wow, the brightness that is something else. What's that doing? Is that just because light makes you feel better, or is it more scientific?
Yeah, no, it's a little bit more scientific
I knew it would be.
than that. So it's called Photobiomodulation. So photon energy, aiming to modulate, to change your biology. And it looks like an infrared light, which part of it is, but mainly that's aesthetics and heat. The spectrum of light that travels all the way through your body and penetrates blood, bone, fat, organ tissue, you actually can't see. It's invisible to the naked eye, a bit like an X-ray might be. And it targets the area in the cell called the mitochondria. So everything we do is surrounding the theory of mitochondrial medicine. So healing yourself from the inside out naturally.
Amazing. And that's the heat side as well, and you've got a cold side. So you're mixing and using different things for different purposes?
So we use what we call biostacking method. So whilst you're laid on the bed, you actually are receiving the light, and at the same time I am using local cryotherapy, an electric machine, up your spinal cord, over your back of your neck where your brain stem, which controls your heart rate, for example, sits, and this sends a very powerful message to your nervous system to prepare for something that is coming.
So the Americans, you've got them interested or something, and you're going over there soon, aren't you, to show it off?
Yeah, so we've been selected from thousands of people across the world to present our systems-based model of physical and mental health care. So we are going, there's around 10,000 people in attendance, to basically give an hour-long talk about the evidence for this and how we see tech evolving.
Right. Because I've got to say that, I can be a bit sceptic. I don't know why people think I might be a bit sceptical, but sometimes people think they're getting better, they will get better, that sort of thing.
Placebo effect.
Placebo effect.
Exactly.
It's obviously more than that, that's the thing, but is it harder to define this sort of thing, the science of it?
Yeah, because it is, although things like flotation and light therapy in itself are not new, from a technological perspective at the moment, they really are evolving. We use a form of light therapy straight into your brain via a helmet, which, for example, is really, very, very exciting news for Alzheimer's. There's a lot of clinical research that is coming out of the best hospitals in the world, mainly in the US, regarding the technology that we're using. And it's very, very exciting. We envisage in about 20 years' time, people will have bits of this equipment in their own home.
You will be the trail setter. They'll look back on this video and go, this is where it all started then.
Yeah.
Because no one else is doing it. I mean, that's, again, it's incredible. I think it's interesting how you come up with this. Because you have to, because it's new, do you have to find your way yourself, what worked, what didn't work?
Exactly. So as I was sort of getting better from my mental health issues, I decided to look into more natural approaches. First of all, we bought the flotation bed because we know it puts you into a meditative brain state called the theta state. and that is the state you get into if you can meditate. Most people can't, and this technology puts you in that state. So that's what we started with, and I found that immensely helpful for me personally. We then began to add other bits of technology, really as a way of offering more value. We changed the business model because we wanted to be able to offer quicker results, and that's when we came up with the biostacking method of heat, light, cold, so you can get through in under an hour, basically. The science, yes, we've spent the best part of 3 years looking at all the research, the literature. We will be producing our own data from the clients that we see, and we're also involved in a paper that's been written up from the States as well.
Okay, so these machines made to order, but a minute for you, but you see sometime in the future this will be on a production line then?
Exactly. So you can buy various bits of this kit individually. However, the bed that's in there is no other bed like that. We have rigged up the PBM panels to hover above the client. That doesn't exist. You either buy a flotation bed and a PBM bed, and you get off one and onto the other. You can't do it together.
Does it work for everyone?
Yes.
Oh, see, I'm now sceptical, but
Yeah.
who can say that? I mean, what about COVID and the long COVID people like that?
Yeah, so it's clinically proven to help with a number of things. Long COVID is one of them.
Right.
The main issue with long COVID is energy and the way that the cells generate and create energy. When you have PBM therapy, it's like putting an injector fluid through a diesel engine. Clears it out, makes your cells more efficient. It's not that you're going to be doing backflips out the door. We do know that PBM results continue for weeks, if not months, after just one session. The results can be very, very dramatic, or they can be very, very subtle, and anything in between.
So you can't promise the world?
We can't promise the world,
Okay.
and we're definitely not promising to cure people. We work alongside other doctors, people that are undergoing chemotherapy, radiotherapy, pain clinic patients, things like this.
Okay. What about Dragon's Den for you? We're going to see on that or something?
Well,
Is this the sort of thing that you might be interested to find the big backers or something?
yes, so America, there's a lot of investors that are going to be present in America.
Shark Tank is their version of the programme. Who knows? But it's interesting. So you see a big future for this, obviously.
Absolutely.
And the more data you get, the better you can understand this thing yourself. Really, this is early days.
Very, very early days. We know that Western diseases are all down to inflammation within the body on a cellular level, and inflammation is caused by cortisol, a stress hormone, because we live in a very fast-paced, never off environment for the brain, and we can target the inflammation with these pieces of technology very, very effectively, and it can be used for everything from children on the spectrum of ADHD, because they do really well with sensory deprivation. It can be used for people with Alzheimer's and dementia. But also there's a large part of people that I see who are burnt out and they just need a reset, pain relief. People come who are addicted to certain medications, sleeping tablets, who can't get off them. And we successfully managed to do that whilst manipulating their neurochemistry with various supplements.
Okay. Well, a very nice location out here at the Nunnery, a very quiet and peaceful sort of area. And I can say, people can get hold of you, they find you how? On the line or what?
Yeah, so we've got a website, which is www.therafloat.co.uk. And on the website, there's a lot more information and links. You can book and pay for appointments online. Facebook, we've got a big platform on Facebook, Instagram, and also LinkedIn.